D-Day was 3 days ago. Since then, I've, 28 male, experienced emotions I didn't even know were possible. The person I thought I knew, the person I trusted most, turned out to be someone entirely different. My wife's, 29 female, affair was apparently over before I found out. But the fact that it had ended and restarted so many times just makes it worse. She chose this repeatedly, even knowing what it would do to us if I found out. We've only been married 8 months, together for nearly 7 years. I thought we were strong, but then I saw the truth in her phone. She'd been having an affair with someone across the world, a man she referred to as a close friend. She told him she had feelings for him, that her heart felt tied to him, and that she was envious of women around him. Last month, she even met up with him and hooked up. She described it as deeply intimate and intoxicating, even though she claimed she felt anxious and guilty the entire time. She says she ended things with him after that encounter, telling him she couldn't continue doing this to me and she had plans to be a mother soon. But just when I thought she was trying to do the right thing, I saw messages where she texted him saying she missed him. They're talking again. To her credit, she's thrown herself into individual counseling and seems to be making real changes. She told me about past traumas and issues she'd never addressed, and I believe she's finally trying to deal with them. She's given up alcohol, started eating healthier, and made exercise a priority. She seems like a completely different person than she was 3 days ago. I can see the effort, and I even recognize the changes. But for me, it's not enough. I can't unsee what she's done. I can't undo the hurt, the betrayal, or the way it shattered my trust. Every time I look at her, I'm reminded of the lies, the affairs, and how she dragged someone else into our relationship. It's not just about the cheating. It's about the choices she made over and over again while I was oblivious, still believing in us. I told her I can't see a way forward. I've been honest that divorce feels like the only path because I don't think I can ever truly move past this. She says she loves me and wants to rebuild. But the truth is, the damage feels irreparable. Even with all the changes she's made, I can't picture myself ever trusting her again. She says she's empty, sad, and angry at herself. She told me she's determined to keep changing, whether or not we stay together. I believe her, but it doesn't change how I feel. The life we had is gone, and the idea of rebuilding feels like trying to put a shattered vase back together. It will never be the same. I've come clean to my family. They're angry, distraught, and are completely against reconciliation. My plan is to talk to a lawyer soon and explore my options. I assume it won't be complicated since we were only married for a few months. I'm trying to move forward for myself, but it's hard when I can see glimpses of the person I once loved. I know I need to let her go and focus on my own healing, but some days I'm just as lost as she is. She destroyed us, and I'm left trying to figure out if I can rebuild myself from the ashes. Update. It's been a little over a week since D-Day, and I've talked to a lawyer and found out that annulment is an option for me. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a hard choice, but after everything that's happened, I know it's the right one. She keeps telling me how sorry she is, how stupid, selfish, and immature her actions were. She's taken full responsibility, saying it was 100% her fault and that I didn't deserve any of it. She's been open about how much she regrets what she's done and says she understands why I can't stay married to her. She told me that if I go through with this annulment, it will kill her emotionally, but she only wants what's best for me and will accept my decisions. She's had some serious talks with her sister since staying with her. Her sister apparently told her she's lived recklessly for years, but it's time to face the consequences of living that carefree. Be honest about everything. She's been doing that. She's told me everything. At least, I think so. Answered all my questions and hasn't tried to defend or justify her actions. Yesterday, she asked if I wanted to do something for our anniversary. She said she'd like to do something nice for me if I'd allow it, but she understands if I'd rather not. I couldn't even respond. I just sat there feeling numb because I couldn't believe the audacity. Then she started sobbing uncontrollably, which is something she's been doing a lot lately. Despite her efforts to show how sorry she is and how much she's changing, I just can't see a path forward. Every time I look at her, I see the betrayal, the lies, and the life I thought we were building together unraveling. It's not that I don't believe she's sorry. I do. It's just that the damage she caused feels too deep to repair. I still care about her, and it hurts to know how much this is destroying her too, but I have to put myself first. I need to heal, and I can't wait to be far away from this mess. Story 2. I am now certain, but am unsure how to proceed. Advice. So, I've suspected for a while that my wife of 20 years, 2 kids, has been cheating. Since the beginning of the year, she's been very distant and disengaged, always on her phone and in particular on WhatsApp. She has a close male friend, an old work colleague, that's gone through a health scare this year, and she's been by his side the whole way. Every single night and most days at the hospital and at his home, coming home super late each night. I started to get suspicious in March when I couldn't reach her. When she's there, she doesn't answer her phone. She said he's a good friend and I'm being jealous, and continued to spend lots and lots of time with him. I feared this was a deep emotional affair, possibly lasting years. By the way, I've never met him once. The kids and her mother have, though. I couldn't shake the suspicion. My gut kept telling me something wasn't right. She was super disengaged with me, not physical or cuddly in any way at all. She came out and said she wanted a 3-month separation around April. And I said no, we should work on things. But we never worked on anything. I could never talk to her about anything deep. There are countless other red flags other than hiding her phone. Changing the password, deleting the messages from her friend on WhatsApp, using cash all the time where she used to use card so we could accrue frequent flyer points for holidays. Anyway, she asked about a separation again in July, and I said yes, but she didn't really action it, making it seem like I should look around for a place for her. I don't think that's my responsibility, so I said that's for her to do. Just over a week ago, she said we should separate for good. Both 3 months, as she always feels anxious around me. My radar's been up lately, and I'm constantly anxious around her. Funny she would say that. So, I know 100% she wants out. She said she doesn't love me anymore, but wants to separate with us being friends, and she doesn't want the money, etc. We've been getting along okay for the last few days, probably because I've been away for work this week, and she knows that the end is near. Fast forward to today, and I'm having a shower and go grab some nail clippers. I see a toiletries bag in the cupboard, and my curiosity is piqued. So I open it, and a container of massage oil. No idea where it came from. My question is, what do I do? I have kids to think of. My mind is a mess. In some ways, I'm relieved that my gut was right, but then I'm also disgusted that she's been with someone else. Our marriage hasn't been great for a couple years. Lack of intimacy. But she could have left completely before starting something. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Feel free to ask questions. I really just need some ideas and guidance on what to do. I know I should confront, and she'll deny, no doubt, but I'm hoping wiser minds can help me out. Update. So, I decided to put a tracker on her car. I mean, I know we're technically now separated for a few days, but hey, my gut still tells me something isn't right. My wife grabs the keys and tells me she's going to the gym. After gym, she says she's going to grab some drinks. So, I see the car go to the city. And then after a few hours, it goes down to a suburb by the beach and stops there. I decide to drive down and see the car parked. I then remember that the GPS tracker gives me the ability to call it and listen in. Well, let me tell you, when I heard a bit saying something like, "You're amazing," my blood boiled and I just lost it. I stormed up to the car and opened the door and couldn't believe it, but it was her with a mate of mine, not the guy I thought. I was going to bring this guy into my business. That's how much I trusted him. Needless to say, I yelled at her and him. She was very defensive, saying we're now separated. A few days, but he was so sheepish. It felt good to be in a position of power for once, and now I know my gut is right. She had moved on. She admitted to most stuff, but said it's only been going on for a couple weeks, which I do not believe at all. This has been going on longer than that, for sure. I told her not to come home, and that I don't want her in the house at all, but I can see she's parked the car right near our house. She could stay there as far as I'm concerned. I told the AP that he has 12 hours to tell his wife, or I will. I know their marriage was pretty rocky, but my wife's one of her best friends, so this is going to be devastating for her. I'm from a no-fault state, so I can't really use any of this to my advantage, other than now I know why she was so calm about breaking up with me. Edit. It also came out yesterday. I was talking to OM's wife that my wife had been having an affair with the cancer guy too. Can't say I was shocked, just confirmed all my suspicions, but man, what a psycho. Her whole "we're separated" excuse is BS. It's been a few days, and she's already hooking up with your so-called friend? That's not moving on. That's someone who's been checked out and lying for a long time. And the fact that it's a friend of yours? That's a double betrayal. Dude was gonna work with you, and now you have to find out he's been sneaking around with your wife? Absolutely disgusting. I'm glad you confronted them both and put the AP on notice to tell his wife. She deserves to know what's going on, especially considering your wife is one of her best friends. Talk about destroying multiple families. You're right, it's a no-fault state, so legally this won't matter much. But emotionally, you got all the clarity you need. Protect your kids, protect your sanity, and focus on getting through this. You deserve way better than this mess. Stay strong, brother. You've got this.